Hey everyone, Sandy here, and I'm back for Follow a Sketch February. It is February 27th, and that means only one more day of Follow a Sketch February, guys. I'm using my Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and I'm also using this sketch that I found from Lanette Erickson of stacksofscraps.blogspot.com. So I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to be using one photo, one selfie that my husband sent to me when we were apart for a little while. Geographically, we sent selfies to each other all the time. We were like, let me see your face, and we did it. Now this is not exactly a 4x6 photo, but let's see what I can do.
So this kit that I received from the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, I've got to say, it's the beautiful collection from Simple Stories, and which most of it is. It's I would say it features that with some other fun things thrown in. But the pink and mint green and cream and black, that just exudes romance to me. So I knew I had to find something fun to scrapbook, so that was my husband. Yay! I had two photos pulled out on my desk that I was going to scrapbook, and it's photos of lobsters in our sink because I got lobster for my birthday. However, this kit just did not scream scrapbook with me for your lobster photos. So we'll see what happens with the lobster photos. Anyway, back to my husband and this layout. So I'm using this 4x6 cut apart from the cut apart sheet that came in the kit, and I just trimmed down two edges of my husband's photo and I placed it on top. Now I also cut out the center of that 4x6 card, and that is because I really want to use that portion of the card again. So it's a heart with florals on it, and I love it. So what I will do is really take the time to detail cut that out and then use it on a layout in the future. Now I just had to put some washi tape on the back of that guy because all kinds of cuts were going on. Now I'm just trying to figure out what paper is going to be what element on the sketch. So I'm doing something that I don't think I usually do, or I don't consciously usually do it, and that's using a dot on top of a dot. And I think it's okay. The black and white dot is a strong, bold dot. The white and pink dot is less. The white and pink dot reads more as a solid than the black and white dot does. So I'm okay with it. Now I'm trying to figure out which part of this die cut sheet from American Crafts is going to be the one I use. And I'm thinking it's going to be this top part, and I just have to figure out where I'm going to cut it, what's going to make a good amount of die cut for this layout, but it's still going to give me a decent amount of die cut that I can use later on other pages. And I've already got an idea for another piece of the die cut, and then I'll have yet another piece left. So that'll be exciting. I'm just using my pencil here to mark some lines where I'm going to be cutting out the hearts. And I actually think I changed my mind a little bit with what I have cut. Yep, I do. I'm like, nope, I don't need that little guy there. So I grabbed my trusty Fisketeer scissors. Does anybody remember being a Fisketeer? I love these scissors. They fit great in my hand, and they're nice. They just feel good. I do have to say, though, I am tempted by those Chamel glitter-handled scissors. If they were... Sometimes when I see them, they look more teal. Sometimes when I see them, they look more green. If they were just a tad more green, they would be mine already, because green is my absolute favorite color. So here I am just trimming off the little bits of the die cuts, and I'm just trying to round them a little bit more and give it more of an edge where it doesn't look like I've hacked it off of another piece. I want it to look like this was the way it was meant to be, and this was the way it was made. So I'm just straightening that out. Now, when I first thought about this layout and using this die cut, I was going to use the Shimmers Gold and paint the die cut gold and let, you know, you could just see the colors behind it like that. And then I decided I don't think I'm going to like that. I think it's going to look kind of chintzy. So I decide that I'm going to use all of my papers and I'm just going to back the die cut here. And it takes me a good amount of time to do this, so I don't make you watch all of it. But this is basically what I do the entire time. Take the piece of paper, mark it. Oh, here, I'm trying to find my eraser so I could erase the pencil lines, and then glue it down with my little dot adhesive here. So once I get that one down, then I just go through the papers that came in my kit and figure out what else I'm going to do. And everything I used paper-wise to back this came in the kit. I did use both sides of some of the papers, so that will give me more options. Ta-da! Now it's all filled out. And I did have some gold and some black in there, and obviously the mint and the pink. So I just needed to trim down this pink dotted paper and just figure out where it's going to go. I mean, obviously I know where it's going to go because I'm following a sketch, but I just needed to figure out where it was going to go. Like, what would be the good place for it to go. And I also had to cover up that bit of adhesive gunk that got on the top part of that paper that I couldn't get to erase away. So I'm really liking this. While I'm staring at this, I'm thinking that there needs to be something behind my husband's photo. But I glance at the sketch to see what's going on, and then I realize, oh shoot, there's some like mixed media back there. So I get the Artsy paint, metallic paint that came in my kit that is such a beautiful match to the mint green colors. And at first I was going to mix it up with a bunch of water and like do some serious painting. And then I decided not to. As you can see, I've used a lot of this already. It took me a while to get it to come out. So I decided not to. I decided to packaging technique with the paint. And I've never done that before. I mean, I've packaging, done that technique with Distress ink and with gelatos, but never with paint. So I figured it would kind of act the same way. And then I rolled my paper towel the wrong way and it unrolled. It was whatever. I just threw that away. It was wild though, because the paint was almost instantaneously dry. So I guess because it was so thin, didn't take a long time. And it's just a little shimmery peek through, and it's more of just a part of the background than it is an actual element to the page. And I'm totally okay with that. I think it just adds a little tiny bit of softness. And that's all it really needed, was just a little tiny bit of softness. Oh, look at him. He is so handsome. I love him so much. So while I'm sitting here, I'm thinking there does have to be something else on that layer of him. And I'm just trying to figure out what it's going to be, because I feel like the white is now, boom, white in your face, and I need to bring a little bit more white into the layout. So I have this piece of corrugated paper, and this came in my last Secret Not Secret Club kit, and I still had a little bit left. So I decided to use this. It gives a little bit of texture, and it also gives that little white edge that I felt like I was missing. Now, tip, if you have any of these papers, what I like to do is trim it on my trimmer one direction and kind of like flap the paper like you saw there, flip it over and run the trimmer on the other direction, and then you get a good cut. Because the trimmer blade is not as thick as that paper, so you need to come at it from both sides. So now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, what I want to add to this layout. And I decided not to go with those sparkly black enamel dots. They were just a little bit too bold for what I was going for here. And at first I thought I was going to use this tag that says "Your heart knows the way," and it's on a map, and there's a little bit of a map print on that one heart off to the side, and I thought that that was totally appropriate because this was at a point in our lives where we were sending selfies back and forth all the time, and because we just missed each other and missed just seeing each other and being with each other, and I thought that that was totally appropriate. Your heart knows the way, because it does, like, it does. But the tag doesn't end up making it on the page, and I think it's because it was a little bit too much gold, honestly. There's just little tiny touches of gold on this page, and one part of that gold is on the foiled paper that I used to back some of the hearts. And then I have this kind of matte gold for the M and Y. And I struggled a little bit with where the title was going to go because I wanted to follow the sketch and have the title on the side, but I didn't like it. It just didn't work for me there. So eventually I just put the title off to the side, and I put off the decision because I'm not ready to make it. So I'm just trying to figure out what paper I want behind the photo for that little bit of a banner that's sticking out. And I decided to go with the mint floral paper because I do have it in the hearts up here as backing. And I didn't want to introduce yet another pattern paper because I have a lot of pattern papers going on with backing these hearts. So I went ahead and fishtailed the little piece of paper here and then cut it in half so I would be able to have it go across the entire page. And I really like how it lays right there. And then over on this side, I'm kind of a dunderhead right now. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this one's not as steep as that one. I'm like, no. So I'm messing around with this thing, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll just put it straight across so that the banner looks like it's coming off the page. And then I'm like, no, I don't like the look at that. Once I trim off the edge, it's an immediate no. And then I decide, oh, you know what? Maybe I just need to shorten the fishtail a little bit. That's all it is. Maybe that's all it is. So, like a dunderhead, I trim it off, and I'm like, yep, it's shortened. And then I'm like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. And now I have some sort of weird piece. And I'm like, forget this. It's a banner. It's going down. And then all of a sudden, when I get the banner placed down this time, I like it. And I don't know why I didn't like it the first time I put it down. Who knows? Maybe it was because I did that weird thing with the fishtail. I don't know. But I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed scrapbooking this layout, having my husband look up at me and smile the entire time. It's probably gonna get a little sick. You guys are gonna be like, really? But this man, he is so good, and I love him so much. And we are closing in on our 20th anniversary. So, for marriage and dating, actually, our first date was in April of 1998, and we were married in September of 1998. So all of our firsts, our 20-year anniversary of all of our firsts, are going to be like in rapid succession. So it's pretty exciting, and I'm just so glad that I found him. So, or he found me. Either way, we found each other. Now, what I'm doing here is I wanted to add a little bit of extra pizzazz to the heart die cut. So I pulled out the beautiful 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and I pulled the hearts, just the hearts, and decided to layer them up a little bit on the die cuts. And it's not giving it a lot of thickness and it's not giving it a lot of dimension, but it is giving it just a little bit of extra detail and a little bit of an extra layer. And I'm okay with that. And now I just have to figure out what I'm going to do to really make this layout mine, because I am following the sketch pretty closely, but I need to make it mine. Like I have to add something or just do something on this layout that makes it mine, that kind of makes it my style. And one of the things I do is cluster labels and little bits at the top of a page or at the side of a page, something that pokes out. I don't do it on every layout, but I do it enough that I would say, yeah, that is something that marks my style. So I layered up some stickers and I put some more hearts on, and I popped out these little hearts up because I wanted them to have that little bit of extra height. I wanted it to be a little bit above the rest. And that turned out okay. And now I have these little resin flowers that were in my kit. One's pink and 2 are cream, so it's just a matter of me figuring out where I want the roses to go. So I decide one's going to go up there at the top by the hearts, and one's going to be down here by the title, which I obviously figured out where it was going to go, back to my original spot. And then I decided to put one here by this banner because I was thinking my embellishment was going to go in a line. That one right there doesn't stay. I'm going to move that guy. So now I'm just trying to think, do I want to do my own text or do I want to just use some of these word stickers? And I decided to go with the word stickers because they were appropriate and they were a great, perfect color match because it's the same collection. So I throw those on there, and then I decide, you know what? This flower is going to come over here, and I'm going to make this kind of a little bit of an embellishment area. So I do decide to use a heart sticker, and that means I just have to move my word stickers just ever so slightly so that they kind of nestle under and look okay. So I get those situated and I'm happy with them. And then I'm thinking it still needs a little bit of something. So I grabbed these pearls. I grabbed some pearls. I grabbed these pearls and they are adhesive on the back and they are kind of bumpy, but I've got these big resin they're not big, but when everything else seems kind of flat on the page, they feel like big resin flowers. So I'm going to add the pearls there, and that's just going to make me feel better because the flowers are definitely higher than anything else on the page, but the pearls kind of bridge the gap between the flowers and the paper because to me, it's a pretty big gap. I've never used the florals before because they seemed very bulky to me. I've received them a couple times in my kit now, and I've used them because I like them, but it's not something I'm putting on every single page because they are a bit bulky for my eye. Now, I tried to use these little gold safety pins with the little leaves on them, but it didn't work, so I just tossed them to the side, and I will do that on another layout. So thank you guys so much for watching. One more Follow Sketch February and we're finished, and I will catch you guys soon. And look at him. I love him so much.